Well, today is a day, and thus I have more legal trouble news on the part of Donald Trump to update you on. I will show this CNN report from Jake Tapper, and then we'll discuss. This has to do with the federal investigation into Trump's mishandling of classified documents, the obstruction, and this is bombshell news. Take a look.
Breaking news, a new piece of evidence that undercuts Donald Trump's defense in the classified documents investigation. Sources telling CNN federal prosecutors have obtained an audio recording of a summer 2021 meeting where the former president acknowledges he held on to a classified Pentagon document about a potential attack against Iran. The recording indicates that not only did Donald Trump know he had classified materials in his possession after he had left the White House, but that Trump also seemed to know there were limits on what and how he could declassify records since he was no longer president. Let's bring in CNN's Caitlin Polans and Paula Reed, who are bringing us the CNN exclusive reporting. Paula, set the scene for us. Where was this meeting? What was it about?
This meeting was back in the summer of 2021 at Trump's Bedminster Golf Club. And among the people in attendance were several Trump aides and two people working on an autobiography of Mark Meadows. Now, Mark Meadows was not in attendance at this meeting, but during this time, Trump was in the habit of having his aides record any conversations with journalists, writers, or people working on books. Now, sources tell us that on this tape, Trump it says that he has a classified Pentagon document describing a possible attack on Iran. We're also told that you can hear paper rustling. It appears that he might be waving something around, though it's unclear if he's waving this document that he's referring to or if he's waving something else. Now, perhaps more importantly for investigators, on this recording, you can hear Trump suggest that he would like to share this information with the people he's speaking with, but he acknowledges that there are limits to his power to declassify post-presidency. And as one source told me, that is a real problem.
That's a real problem because it undercuts his entire argument. Caitlin, what are
an audio recording of him talking about, oh yeah, I have this classified document. I just took it, and it's about a possible attack on Iran. That's pretty important to keep secret. And I wish I could share this with you, but there's a process to declassify. He's acknowledging. If he actually could declassify with his mind, why would he be saying that? And if you somehow missed it, this is what I'm referencing.
Understand it. You know, there's different people say different things, but as I understand, there doesn't have to be. If you're the president of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it, because you're sending it to Mar-a-Lago or to wherever you're sending it. And there doesn't have to be a process. There can be a process, but there doesn't have to be. You're the president.
With your mind, it's declassified. Boom. So no, he knew that's not the case. That's clear. So then all the puzzle pieces have come together at this point, right? You're trying to prove that he had the documents. He knew he had them. He decided not to turn them over. Check. And this is both what we just heard and also all the evidence we talked about in the past. He got subpoenaed, turned over some documents, knew he had more, lied to authorities, said he didn't have more, obstructed, attempted to move around the documents to keep federal authorities from getting them, and wasn't accidentally thinking, oh, I thought you wanted classified documents, and I thought that I declassified these documents because I can declassify with my mind, because clearly he doesn't think you can declassify with your mind. And this is a rock solid case. I do think you'll be charged and convicted. What the punishment will look like, who knows? But we're a long way away from that, the conviction, obviously. But that's my prediction. And then here's this from the New York Times. Also on Jack Smith's investigation, but the January 6th related one. The special counsel investigating former President Donald J. Trump's efforts to cling to power after he lost the 2020 election has subpoenaed staff members from the Trump White House who may have been involved in firing the government cybersecurity official whose agency judged the election, quote, the most secure in American history, according to two people briefed on the matter. So you might remember Christopher Krebs, again, the cybersecurity official that was fired because he came out and said, based on the facts, very secure election. He called it the most secure in American history. He was fired by Trump, the Trump White House, and could have the staff members that are being subpoenaed surrounding this could have some information on this whole process. Talks about getting a timeline and trying to understand what was going on there, the state of mind of Trump and how these decisions were being made, what the motive was, all of that. Really, really interesting. And as I've said, hopefully he's charged across the board wherever he violated the law. But anytime I see updates on the attempts to overturn the election-related investigations, both federally and in Georgia, that's really good, because that is so important, the most important thing that he's held accountable for. But heck, doesn't even matter. All of them. Hold him accountable for all of them.